When you watch a movie, what do you think of? Most people would think of characters' reactions, the color of scenes, how hot the main actress is, laugh at the jokes. Maybe the fight scenes are super cool and you feel like Conor McGregor when you walk at the movie theater. When I view a film, I look at the nitty-gritty things like the symbols and the foreshadowing and maybe the flaws of the character and what's happening in the background. Obviously, I like a good story, but I like depicting things. I like questioning why things are there. But then my viewing on film completely changed after my first semester at film school. If you like the topic of this video, you definitely should check out the podcast that I did with my friend Maya. We talked about film school, why we went, our ideas, what we're learning, etc., etc. In my first semester of film school, I learned a lot about screenwriting and how to write a compelling story and how to use conflict to drive the plot and all the backstory and history and iconic films and narration and the 3-act structure. There's so many things that I could talk about, but there's one thing that stuck with me, and it's called the hierarchy of looks. I got a hole puncher here. Now at the top, it's you guys. You are looking at this YouTube video through this camera at me. In the middle, there's me. I'm getting looked at from you, but I'm looking at this hole puncher. And at the bottom, it's this hole puncher. It's getting looked at from you, from the camera, and me in the frame. The filmmaker's job is to have you immersed in the film, not a person sitting in the theater watching it on a big screen, not a person watching it from their phone, not a person sitting on their living room couch and watching it on their flat screen TV. No, you are a bystander in the film, and the camera is your eyes. Think about that for a sec. You are watching these people, but they don't know they're being watched. This is why we study the importance of framing, the importance of color, the importance of angles, the importance of shots. Whether I'm looking down at you and being super intimidating, or you could be the person intimidating me by having me look up at the camera, or the angle could be crooked, giving you an eerie feeling like something bad is gonna happen. The lighting could be super bright, showing that I discovered something that amazes me. It represents happiness, new hope. Or the lighting could be dark and suspenseful, awkward shadows, dark edgy colors, foreshadowing something's going to go wrong, or giving you an eager feeling of what's going to happen next. These are all little things that have such a big impact when you're watching a film. Why? Because it makes you feel a certain way. Again, you are the bystander in the film. You are watching it through the lens. You are at the top of the hierarchy of looks. All the things that the director does is just messing with your feelings, manipulating your mind to think a certain way about a character. Oh, look at him. He's the hero. He killed someone, so he's the villain. The atmosphere they're in. Is it nice and bright, open? Is the sun shining on their face? Or is it dark, moody, and claustrophobic, and the characters fill up most of the frames? You are the spectator, and the filmmaker relies on empathy to get you to feel the way the characters feel. If someone's dog died in the film and you have a dog, or you know someone who has a dog and imagining if their dog died, you're gonna cry. I remember that is it Marley and Me? I think it's Marley and Me. Watching it when I was little, and I thought like, oh, I'm too tough to cry. So I remember going into the washroom and crying, and I didn't even have a dog. It was just sad. But you see what I'm saying? We rely on empathy to share our emotions and connect with the characters. What's your favorite movie? And why do you like it so much? Now, some people's favorite movie could come from past experiences that they connect with. Other people's favorite movies could come through fun experiences with people, and watching it makes them remind them of that person. My favorite movie is Joker. Not only because Joaquin Phoenix was an amazing actor, I didn't even know who Joaquin Phoenix was before I watched the movie. The reason why that's my favorite film, because I felt like it did such a great job having all these violent acts, but the moral of the story is the power of love. If Arthur Fleck had a supportive mother, a supportive girlfriend, a friend group that actually appreciates him, a father that loved him, a role model that respected him, then he might have lived a different life. But no, his friends betrayed him. His mom didn't believe in him. His role model was never what he thought he was, and at the end, he turned into a monster. Now look at the atmosphere. Do you see what Todd Phillips did? He took a character from a comic book and put him in a real life situation. The Joker was not that person from Batman. The Joker was a sad person that was neglected from society. And the coolest thing about Joaquin Phoenix is that Joaquin was that person neglected from society.
I've been a scoundrel in my life. I've been selfish. I've been cruel at times, hard to work with, and ungrateful. But so many of you in this room have given me a second chance. And I think that's when we're at our best, when we support each other, not when we cancel each other out for past mistakes, but when we help each other to grow, when we educate each other, when we guide each other towards redemption. That is the best of humanity.
That interview scene that he did with Murray was how he felt in an interview scene that he did with David Letterman.
Playing my video, inviting me on the show. You just wanted to make fun of me.
High praise coming from you.
Is that really?
We're having fun.
That's
We're
fun?
having fun. Just relax, seriously.
I don't know about you, but in that film, I was rooting for the bad guy. The atmosphere around him impacted me just like it impacted Arthur Fleck in the film. Joaquin did such a good job making this Joker character a real person that walks around the streets every day. And Todd Phillips shows that the power of love can cure anyone. Snako said this thing in his Patreon and it really stuck with me. He goes, film people see movies different than regular people because they don't focus on the plot. They focus on how beautifully it's shot. And now I know why. Because film is not something we watch. It's something we're in. Wherever the director wants to place us, that will depend on our experience watching the film. Whether the shadows are hard or soft, whether the scene is cold or warm, film is a beautiful thing. It's so much more than just a movie. It's a whole experience.
In case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
If you want to see more videos like these, leave a like on this video, click subscribe, turn your post for notifications on. It's super simple, it's just a button, and that's it for this one. Stay special.